Hello, I'm here now with Nick Tenconi, the leader of UKIP. Nick, why have you turned up here today?
So I've turned up today with other Christian activists, people giving up their time to send the message to the people in that building and the general public of what happened to Adam Smith Connor, who I believe at the demo site in Bournemouth, which is a buffer zone around an abortion centre, he was in prayer pose with his head bowed, and essentially he was arrested and he's been within the buffer zone for praying, and he's been charged, found guilty, fined £9,000 with some sort of order attached to it. And the reason why he was praying outside the abortion zone, abortion clinic, was for his deceased son. So that's what people need to know about. The crime is a thought crime, and it is the first thought crime in Britain. This should absolutely terrify atheists, agnostics, Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, Jews, Sikhs. It should terrify everyone. This is the globalist movement that is happening, whereby they can have access to all of your information and ultimately commit you of a crime that was happening, what they call as a crime happening inside your head. Terrifying.
And looking at the broader issue of abortion, Nick, why is it so important that we do address this issue in politics?
It's absolutely essential we address this issue. Let's refer to a couple of examples. You've got Stella Creasy, Walthamstow MP, and lefty politicians saying that we should be able to abort up until birth, but then a mother should have the right to bury their babies in their back garden. I mean, this is actually what they're coming out with now. You can abort cleft palate and Down syndrome up until birth. The legal limit is 24 weeks. The babies aren't anaesthetised. There's no requirement for babies to be anaesthetised. It's an attack on Christianity. It's an attack on the family, traditional family values, which of course Britain is built upon. And it is all part of the left progressive virtue signalling code, almost of degeneracy and debauchery. It has gone far too far, and we need to do something about that, because it is our traditional family values and our roots that built our great nation.
And it is actually profoundly anti-women as well, isn't it? It's an attack on women. When we look at these over 10 million abortions that have happened, each one is left a mother that in some way has lost their child and is grieving that loss, even if they don't recognise it themselves. So to be so anti-women in today's culture that claims to be so pro-woman is quite ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a really important point about women's healthcare and safety. We want a culture which produces positive outcomes. We want a culture which protects the sanctity of women. It was Christianity that invented chivalry. We don't want women behaving and acting in a certain way which puts them at risk. We should have a culture which suggests that actually the preservation of the most vulnerable within society, women and children, is something we foster. That's the culture that we want, and that's the culture that Christianity puts forth as well. So it is a bizarre argument that the left use, where they just constantly push this liberal freedom on women, which ultimately ends in their own destruction. It's almost like a campaign. It's the left hate women, whilst pandering to them that they love women so much, and that some sort of unbridled degeneracy, liberal freedom will somehow bring you happiness and joy and success. It leads to your destruction. We need to stand up for them, is what we need to do.
Thank you very much, Nick, and thank you for being with us today.